Greetings and salutations, guys. It is a blessed Valentine's Day, and I came to the realization that I don't make as much content as I should for you guys. So, today I'm going to talk about Valentine's Day horror movies, because it seems like all we see on TV today is gratuitous violence and sex on TV. What? Did you guys hear that? Hmm. Guess it must have been the wind. So, I could have talked about a whole variety of movies you probably have heard of, or get this, I talk about one movie in particular that I saw on like Monday called My Bloody Valentine. No, not that one. I should have been more specific. I'm talking about the one from 2009. You know, the one with Jensen Ackles, the guy that plays Dean Winchester of the hit super show Supernatural. Anyway, doesn't matter. The movie I'm going to say deserves a content warning because there's quite a bit of blood and gore with just a pinch of sex scenes sprinkled throughout the movie to keep you gooners locked in. But in regards to the gore and graphic stuff, I'm not joking. When I saw this, within the first 10 to 15-ish minutes, we get a little hint, or at least a little taste of it being super brutal because they're kind of going in this little context of this guy who kills. And they said when a cave happened to like crumble and falling apart on itself, the guy killed 10 people. But we get past this little newspaper-ish looking thing, and we see him in the hospital bed, and he's just, he's just there. But remember how I said it's a minor? No, get that minor out of here. He needs to shield his eyes. But yeah, it's a serial killer minor movie who just goes crazy, goes inside mines, and kills everyone in aforementioned mine. And they dug the little crazy guy out of the mines, kept him in the hospital alive and uncuffed from his bed. But he was also comatose, so they believed he wasn't going to be able to do anything because he was a bit weak and whatever. But he's a crazy man. He was alive and uncuffed from the bed, supposedly still comatose, who was supposed to be, I don't know, like a month that he was projected to be in a coma for. I don't know. It was kind of dumb. But no, they said he wouldn't wake up from his bed and he'd be too weak to kill everybody. And like they cut not even like 30 seconds later off screen. And we see this hospital just strewn about with blood and guts and everything. And like 10, maybe 15 people are on the floor dead. We also get to see a little heart box of chocolates with, get this, a heart inside of it. Okay, I'm just gonna say it was a bit stupid because after that little slaughter, we get to a little flashback or a flashback point without them actually saying it's a flashback of our main cast character set group of people or whatever. But it's your typical, was how can I put this in a sort of similar kind of, or not similar, but something that would kind of be the setting scene or whatever. It's just your typecast set of horny teens going out to a party, except the party location is the mine shaft where these people were brutally killed. But, what can I say aside from we get to see people getting killed with a pickaxe because he's a miner after all? The man also appears to be like a superhuman or something because he takes several back shots. Leave that for you guys. But he doesn't die. I mean, or at least it wasn't several. He was shot 3 times in the back. But like, it was with like a 38, which still packs a punch. And I don't think he was wearing any Under Armour underneath his like, what is it, a jumpsuit or whatever. So clearly he would have, that would have hurt quite a bit. But no, he moseys out of their way further and deeper into the mine. And then we get another 10-year jump skip time, whatever, into the movie. Uh, we get to see Jensen Ackles. He plays a guy named Tommy Hanniger. Don't clip that. Please, I'm begging you, please don't clip that. It's Haniger, not the other way. Please, guys, don't do that to me. It's Valentine's Day. But anyway, he's trying to sell the mine because, he's still very traumatized from watching close friends and other people getting killed in the mine. But I'm just gonna say, as soon as he enters the town, people start dropping like flies. So take that and interpret it with how you will. But I'm just gonna start talking about when the wild parts of the movie start to come up, and you can really feel the smut or like the trash come in and hit you in the face. Tom goes to a motel, and we're greeted by a very, very uncomfortable and long sex scene that lasts longer than the guy does. So I'm just gonna scoot past like 5 minutes, and the killer miner kills the two people that were getting it on, along with a midget woman who we see get pinned to the friggin' ceiling with the pickaxe. It's a crazy downward motion that he goes. It's like the arc and stuff. It's like you'd think he was a professional golfer or a hockey player with the way he smacks it. Like if I had a camera or anything to record it, I'm just gonna describe it. So I'm standing up right now. This man, he's like hips lined forward, like he's gonna go and hit a driving wedge. Like he hits her all the way up, pins her to the ceiling. He leaves the pickaxe in the ceiling with the like 90-pound midget woman still attached. And he goes on and like terrorizes this topless lady while she's in that room. It is crazy. But as I said, she's naked. So you little gooners, I'm not gonna show that for you, but the movie My Bloody Valentine. Just letting you know about that. But also the guy who was going down on that lady's little uh, you know, area, uh he recorded the whole thing on a little camera he had in his bag. Or yeah, it was in his bag from what I remember. And they recorded the whole thing, including, get this, their deaths and everything else. By everything else I mean like the background stuff. The background is going to be an important one because it also catches Tommy in there, so that makes him a prime suspect for these killings. Um, Fast forward more. Tom talks to his old sweetheart, now that sheriff's wife, about selling the mine, but she uses her witch magic of old memories and guilty. Uh, what is the word? It's like she guilt trips him basically, saying, if you sell that mine, the whole town's gonna go bankrupt because everybody relies on the mine for their jobs and whatever. But he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna sell the mine anymore. I think that'd be a bad idea. So he goes to the mine with another guy just to say he's not gonna sell the mine, but instead, as he's moving down this track and gets out of the track with another dude, he gets locked in a cage and he watches a guy get beat to death with a pickaxe, and he like hollows him out or breaks his rib cage or whatever, and he like I think he leaves the heart in there still or something, but it is insane because of how crazy it is. Like he's thrown in there, he's locked in it. They break the thing so he can't get out. Uh, he's also like kind of hit with the pickaxe on his forearm or whatever. It like grazes him, but it doesn't hurt him that bad. But it's still just enough that he goes to the hospital and talks to the people who are in there about said killer killing a guy. It's only when he mentions not selling the mine anymore to like who, I don't even know who he was going to sell it to. All I know is he was going to say he's not going to sell the mine anymore. And it took that for the sheriff to actually like do his job as a sheriff. He was like, "Why are you not going to sell the mine? Are you here for my wife? Are you going to take my wife from me on Valentine's Day? How dare he?" But okay. I think that was a bit corny and stuff. I didn't really care too much for it. But I'm gonna say this: the movie's got them crazy kills. There are like some that are very dated, but they're still pretty cool. Like there's a couple scenes that are very dated. You could tell because they use effects for what is it called? 3D glasses. They use 3D effects. But I'm not surprised. I think it should have been something that you're supposed to have 3D glasses for. Oh yeah. I forgot to mention the movie was also labeled My Bloody Valentine 3D. to, follow the trend of 3D movies. But I'm just going to move past that and read a little bit more and read off of my cliff notes. Tom disappears for a while. More people keep dying. The original killer was supposed to be dead, but his grave is, of course, disturbed and empty. The sheriff and his wife seem to have a failing marriage. Gee, I wonder why. The nanny won't like what happens to her in 30 minutes. Uh, Another scene that's important, the sheriff's wife and some other girl named Megan are attacked at work. Megan, not having plot armor, friggin' Batman, gets dragged out the window by her legs because she's stupid and chose to crawl out the window legs first, as if that was going to be any leverage for her to escape. But she gets pulled out the window, gutted, and set underneath a bloody writing that says, "Be mine forever." Aw, ain't that cute? You're wrong. Because this poor little, like, 19, 18-year-old girl is just, like, brutally killed and has her chest ripped open and is used as paint to write that. Okay, so just remember that line, "Be mine forever," because it is important at the end of the movie. And remember how I said the nanny's not going to like what happens to her in like 20, 30-ish minutes? The killer miner catches wind that there's nobody really at the house who is like kind of important. So he sneaks up into the nanny's little area, her little laundry cove or whatever she's been doing. He kills her I don't even know, like it shows him behind her. She screams like kind of like that. And like he stuffs her in the friggin' dryer. That was pretty crazy. They don't really show him stuffing her into it, but it's like when the police people are walking around inside the house, they hear the ka-thunk, 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 kind of like you would hear shoes being in like the dryer if they're wet or something. But they open it and they see the nanny's skull and like her rest of her body is melted, but like there's blood, ooze, and muscle and hair still attached, dripping off of her body, and it's so gross. It was just like you got to appreciate the effects they used for that. And also, the sheriff still couldn't find Tom, but we learned that one of the men that supposedly killed the serial killer also is killed. He gets a pickaxe right to the face. Like it hooks underneath, or like it goes through his jaw, the bottom jaw, and it hooks out from his mouth. So he yanks that thing off and it rips it off and it flings it at the camera, which is one of the scenes where you're supposed to have 3D goggles, glasses, or whatever you're supposed to use it for. But it is such a crazy kill. Like it actually had me like feeling like I don't know if you guys have seen those kind of kills in like horror movies where like it makes you feel like it's happening to you. But like I saw it hook underneath and pull and it made my mouth feel so gross. I didn't like it. But anyway, the next day happens to roll around or whatever. The town thinks that the sheriff is slipping. They pretty much say that in their newspaper. His team discovers that Tom was actually in a mental institution for 7 years out of the 10 that he was gone, or at least out of the 10 years that he disappeared. But, after watching all of my closest friends die, I'd probably be traumatized too. But, I guess I'm not a Chad. I guess I don't roll over that too easy. My friend was just watching, having a couple brewskis, and he gets a pickaxe thrown at his face from like a quarter mile away. I'm like, oh shoot, we got Captain America, but a miner. But no, it doesn't matter anymore because the sheriff's wife actually is called by her husband, and he tells her, "Don't get in the car with him." Like she's a part of some like what are they called? Uh, day stranger danger ads. That's what they're called. I don't know why I could remember that. But like it's pretty much like don't follow Tom. He's crazy. But they also make you feel like the sheriff's the bad guy because Tom says that he found something crazy at his old house. And I don't know, it's like he won't tell her about it until they're there. So it's the most suspicious thing ever. But anyway, after she gets the call from her husband, she decides to crash the car because she didn't get the chance to do the pizza pepperoni thing. You know, convicted kidnappers, what's up? What's up? You know, they're drill guys. Is he 5'10"? Cheese pizza? Yeah, that's right. Um, but yeah, she crashed the car because, he's crazy or whatever. Almost get impaled by a friggin' felled tree. That was a crazy one too. That one you're supposed to have 3D glasses because it feels like it's supposed to poke you in the eye, I guess. But she runs from the car to her husband's old dad's home that he killed himself in. And if that sounds weird that I said it like that, it's because it's like a tongue twister. Killed in her old dad's home that her dad killed himself in is so weird to say. But whatever. She goes in the house, finds tons of Valentine's Day boxes of chocolates, with only one on a table containing a picture of her and Tom saying, "Be mine forever." Yeah, the same corny line. Yeah, so that one is also kind of a dead giveaway of something that her husband may in fact be the killer. But nope. Instead of thinking that, she is then attacked by the serial killer miner in the home using her ungodly amount of luck. She somehow finds a way into a mine after she escapes the house by breaking a window and throwing herself out as if she's in the movie. I forget that movie called Rambo. It's so absurd. You'd think it's a scene from Rambo, the way she like tucks and rolls out the window and lands on a whole thing of shattered glass on the ground. But whatever. As she entered the mine, she grabs this little hand crank flashlight thing from off the shelf inside the mine to use as a flashlight because, it's a mine shaft, it's pitch black. But since she can't figure out how to get it to work, she instead uses it at a club. And she, smacks Tom in the face with it. Nothing wrong with getting hit in the face with like a 7-pound steel box. But as Tom's on the ground crying about how much it hurt, um, soon there's the miner guy coming up again, and he's like, "Hey, yo, what's up? You trying to play some games?" But, turns out it wasn't really the miner, because it was actually the sheriff. He comes over, he greets his wife and whatever. I can't remember how he drops his gun. It's so dumb how he gets, or at least it's so stupid, because he drops the gun, his wife picks it up. She's afraid of shooting the gun for some reason when she has several clear shots of shooting the man attacking her husband. And when he does, or at least when she does shoot him, it's like right after he is stabbed in like the side of his body underneath like his kidney. So he's got this gaping hole in his side. And she's like, "Oh, I don't want to shoot you. That would be really bad. That would be such a bad idea." But instead, she wastes like 4 shots shooting at him as he runs away further into the mine, similar as the other guy did, or at least as the same guy did in the first 10, 20-ish minutes of the slaughter. But I don't know. It's so dumb because as she goes to tend to her husband and drag him out of the mine, we see Tom coming in, scaring people, I guess, or whatever. He's like, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill you." He's shattering like light bulbs from the side of the mine to like hide his face or whatever. It's a pretty cool thing, I would have to say. Shattering the bulb so it like hides his face. That was pretty cool. But you know, it's a bit of an interesting thing because as he's coming over, they kind of stop running away from him and they just like kind of drop her husband on the ground. He shoots once and he misses because he's losing like I want to say he's already lost like 2 pints of blood already. So he gives the wife his gun. Horrible choice, but whatever. So he kind of like, or at least Tom, makes his little way over, gives her puppy dog eyes, like, "Would you still marry me?" or whatever. And instead of saying anything, she looks like she's gonna drop the gun, but she shoots him, barely hits him, and it hits a gas valve right behind them. So like when it explodes or whatever, it like collapses the whole mine. And the freak was it? Yo, why am I forgetting this? I had this all written down and everything. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys picked it up already, or at least I don't know if I mentioned this. This is gonna be too long. Tom's the killer. I mean, like it's obvious already. Like he repeats the phrase "Be mine forever," whatever. He knows that Megan was killed before anybody else knew. Um, Apparently, being traumatized also allowed him to be the friggin' Hoover Max vacuum to suck up the soul and personality of the original killer. But, we thought he was clear of his insanity. Turns out he's not. Starts trying to attack people and uses the same thing he does, like the attire and the weapon. But after they're like kind of fighting each other, they explode, hits the gas valve, and collapses the mine. There, that's that. But if you think the movie is over, sit your behind down because the movie is not. There's like 10 minutes left. So, after the rescue team comes to the collapsed mine, they rescue the sheriff and his wife. They also try to save Tom, but Tom, already saved himself by finding a rescue worker alone. And the first thing he thinks is he scoots over to this little pickaxe. He grabs it and he flings it into his eye, which is kind of like another 3D kill, but I think that was kind of cool. And he steals his clothes, exactly like Hitman, leaves the mine undetected, and then we get hit with the end credits. Well, that's a simple review of a movie, for one day. I could have not done this, but you guys deserve it because I got about as much game as an autistic monkey. So, I'm fine with it, but I had to give you guys something to do. Or at least if y'all are just chilling at home with nothing to do, I got y'all. I got you a video to watch. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you like and subscribe. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.